Okay, so painted the doors so I can get them all finalized, and especially put the glass in the top door for the firing. And I did it. I cut a huge hole in my tank to place the chamber in. I've just got a little rock in here. Here, hold on, let me put the kid down. Hey, little buddy. Ooh. Okay. Hey, pal. Cooper. Hey, buddy. You okay? Kid can walk now when he wants to. Yeah, just mocking it up. Not going to make the same mistake as I did with the chimney and have it go on crooked. So I've brought the stove out to the deck, which I know is level in this spot. Well, the whole deck's level. But anyways, okay, Cooper, you're on your own for a second, buddy. You're on your own. Yeah, you are. Okay. So just working it out. Gonna start getting into welding it up. Maybe not today because I got the kid right now and the wife is out. But definitely in the next week, I'm gonna have it all put together and fired up. And so there you go, buddy. So yeah, that's in essence what it's going to look like. Oh, I've realized that I'm going to have to put another section of tank. Luckily I have another tank over there. To make these two tanks I had are not going to be enough to clear the chimney. So I'll have to put in one more piece. I could cut down the chimney, but it burned so well before that I think I'm just going to leave it the length that it's at and extend the heat exchanger portion rather than cut the chimney, blah blah blah. So there it is. I put it fairly low. I've made it so the chimney is below the intake, and I put it as low as I can with the chimney below the intake as possible. And the reason I want the chimney below it is just from what I've seen, you get more, your chimney ends up running cooler the farther down you put the outtake for the chimney compared to the intake. So I guess the heat exchanger sucks up more of the heat the lower down your chimney is. Right, buddy? Hey, buddy? Yeah. Yeah. That's right. And he's about to throw himself over the edge. My little lemming. So anyways, there it is. I'm going to weld it up and I'll be back. So there it is. General shapes tacked on the burn chamber. Straight this time. And there's the upper heat exchanger. I'll have to make a piece for this here, plus another 2.25 inches to give clearance for the top of the heat riser, burn chamber, whatever, to the top of this heat exchanger. So it'll be this plus 2.25 inches. So finished welding up this weld here, mounting the fire chamber to the heat exchanger. It was a real pain in the ass welding the back side of this, just because getting an angle on the grinder, you can see it's pretty nasty in there. So what I did do is I had to weld in this piece here, and I think what I'm going to do is make a little dam up in here and encase it with fire cement. It'll insulate the top of the burn chamber, and it'll also make sure I don't have any leaks out of this, the gap down in here. One other thing, my original plan was to cut a 5-inch section out of this tank and weld it on top of here, and then put my upper chamber on top of that. Who knew? These smaller, shorter tanks are actually thicker steel and slightly, like maybe 1/8 of an inch larger circumference. So I didn't get the nice snug fit fitting into here. So unfortunately, which is how I'm going to take the top and the bottom apart off the burn chamber, by the way. So unfortunately, what I have to do now is I'm cutting the top off this tank, and I'll weld this entire piece on top of here. Sucks about that is when I was cutting this tank, the first thing I cut off was the bottom, which has no valve. So now that I've cut it, rather than weld that back on, I'll use this whole piece on top of here, and I'll have to cut this valve out and weld another one in. And while we're on the subject, or not weld another one in, sorry, weld just a plate in so it's flat. It's more for aesthetics than anything, but whatever, I'd like it to be. And while we're on the subject, just to strengthen the inside of the top of the heat exchanger, I'm going to this piece here, which was off the top of it. It was off this actually. It too is going to get welded, just spot welded in half a dozen places to the inside of there, so that'll double the thickness on the lid, which will be sitting right in here. It'll actually be sitting exactly 2 inches above the chimney. Also, real quick, just wanted to show the finished doors and lid. Now they're all painted, fire rope inside, fire rope around the glass. I'm pretty stoked on these, actually. Aren't we? Yeah, we are. What have you got there, buddy? Yeah, let's not do that. So there's the upper portion, and I'm pretty stoked on this. I had to weld a little circle in the bottom because of my little valve mistake that I think I told you guys about. And had to weld this piece around here, and first pass. So there it is, all welded together. It's been burning for about an hour. It's actually kind of gone out. I had some puff back at the beginning, then it started going pretty good. Still a little smell of smoke, and this part was, you could touch it, but it was still pretty hot. So I think I've got to take half an inch off of here, so lower my heat exchanger, the top of the heat exchanger compared to the top of the burn chamber chimney, and see if that helps out. And another thing I think I've got to do is build a decent grate. I think my grate is crap. A wind like baffle up at the top might not be the worst idea either, as I was kind of getting the puff back when the wind was picking up, and it was a little windier earlier. But another thing is I thought more paint was actually going to bubble off the top. That's another reason why I think I need to lower the top of the heat exchanger a little bit. Just this didn't get as hot as I've seen others get in videos and stuff. But other than that, it worked pretty good. Other than all that. So anyways, a little bit of work to do, but I am burning cedar that was probably about 4 months ago. 4.5 months ago. It was a living tree. And so it's not the best wood, but you know, I don't blame the wood. I think there's still a little bit of work to be done to the stove itself. Okay, so I made a new grate, and I'll maybe cut a couple more channels in here if it's not breathing properly. I also put a hole at the end, which is going to be kind of like a secondary air intake for the chimney of the burn chamber. And I have also taken 1 inch off the lower part. So once again, this sits on, a half an inch off this, which now brings me to 1 3/4 inches above the chimney inside. The top of this is 1 3/4 inches. So here we go, we're going to try and burn it. Okay, so I had to rebuild the grate. This is number 3. So it sits on an angle now with the back of the burn chamber higher than the front. Air holes coming through here and just a tiny bit at the back. I've also put in a little baffle, and I'll show you how this works. Okay, and I don't know if you can see that, but the baffle I'm hoping is going to kind of give a little bit of turbulence, because what I've been finding is that the back of the stack of wood is not really burning that well. And also I've gone for a contoured the top a little bit better. I found that after I cut an inch off or a half inch off the top of this tank, I think I might have lost performance instead of gained it.